All right, it is another day here at Twittick as we are participating these next few days, or next few weeks actually, in the VLOGMAS challenge. The VLOGMAS challenge is where people all around YouTube, all around in these virtual spaces have said we're going to work on just getting better at the craft, getting better at what we do. And so the challenge is to create some content, to go ahead and to vlog every single day from December 1 through December 31. And we are right now on day number 3. And if you were with me last night, as I did day number 2, told you that we were going to do part 2. Oh, I didn't put a thing on here. I'll have to go in and type in these titles in just a minute. But today what we're doing is we're picking up on where we left off on last night. Now, last night we were showing you how to create that introit, not that introit, what do you call that? That countdown screen. I'm going to show you again tonight, and I'm actually going to start over because maybe you might be able to follow along, and if you weren't following last night, you'll be able to get it tonight. It's going to take us probably right around the next 35-45 minutes, so you need to block off that time to be able to sit down to figure out how you too can create that kind of a countdown overlay on your streams. Now, got to put this out there, is that this overlay is going to be pretty much for people who are using Mac. So if you're not a Mac user, this isn't going to, well, it'll be interesting, but it's going to be hard for you to reproduce it because I am creating it in a program that is called Keynote. Keynote is the Mac's version, Apple's version of PowerPoint. They probably don't like us saying that, but it's a presentation software that comes free with when you buy a Mac. It's also generally on your iPhone and on your iPad. If you have either of those, you should have a copy of Keynote, which means that you can create this kind of an overlay, or at least set it up even on your iPhone or your iPad. Now, the second thing that you're going to need, or we're going to be using tonight, is a software program called Ecamm Live. Using the Pro version, which is allowing me to do some of this. And Ecamm Live is a live streaming software, again, that is made at this point just for Macs. So if you're an Ecamm user, if you're a Keynote user, you are in luck tonight as we go ahead and dive into how we make those overlays for the countdown timers before you would start your live stream. So let's hop right into it. First thing I'm going to do is kill this music just a little bit, so that it's not so in our ears and we can kind of concentrate on what's going on the screen. So in just a minute, I'm going to go ahead and pull you in to my Keynote application so that you can see how we do this. So obviously, first thing you're going to need to do is to, I'm just going to share with you my desktop right quick, so you can see all of what's going on my desktop. Let's go into live demo mode. Now you should be seeing my entire screen. I have Keynote already open, as you can see on my screen. These are over here are a couple of countdown timers that I've already been playing around with, but we're going to go ahead and start from scratch, and we're probably going to work on making one of these two right here. So let me show you what it's going to look like in the end. When we get done. So let's take a look at this one. We're going to, I wonder if I hit play, is that going to show you everything? Yep, close to it. So it's going to look something like this when we're all done. All right. So that's what we're trying, that's what we're going for, and we're going to see how to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and take us out of this demo mode. By the way, if you're not familiar with software, so what you see set up on where you see my picture, this is what the Ecamm software looks like with all the controls up on the screen. All right, so we're clicking out of live demo mode. Now you should see me back on the screen, but we're going to click right here and pull us into this window. Now I'm going to scoot myself over to this side of the screen, and here we go. So first thing we want to do, we're going to start all the way from scratch. So we're going to come up here and we're going to say add a slide. So let's just add a slide. We're just going to pick this one. First thing we're going to do, once we are in this spot of adding a slide, we're going to take out all of these little text boxes. So means we're going to click and delete. We're going to click and delete. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to start with a rectangle, actually a square at this point. Let's go ahead and make this the slide palette just a little smaller so you can see the whole thing. Now, it went away. Let's pull it back to where we had it. Okay. Now we're going to take this square. We're going to, let's go over here to format. Let's give it a color so that you can see it just a little bit clearer. So we're going to make that bright red. We're going to grab one of these handles and we're going to drag it all the way up to the top corner of the screen. Then we're going to grab the bottom one and go all the way to this corner, and we want to get that crosshairs right in the middle before we stop to let us know we've got it perfectly in the middle, and we're going to let it go. All right, so that's step number one. If you can do that, boom, we're on track. Now let's move to step number two. Step number two, to create that, we're going to come over here and grab a circle. So we grab the circle again. Let's make it we'll make it a yellow so that you can see it well. Now what we want to do here is we want to drag this circle big enough so that the top part of the circle and the bottom part of the circle extend off of the slide. So and then in order to keep the constraints, or to keep it in the right proportions, when we grab the edge of this circle, this time before we grab it, we're going to press the shift key. And then, so shift key is pressed, and now we're going to drag. What that helps us do is it helps us keep the circle in a perfect circle rather than making it kind of a oblong, etc. So we're going to drag it there. It's probably not big enough. Let's move it back to the palette. And let's drag it just a little bit bigger so that we have the top and the bottom of the circle extending beyond the slide. All right, and then we want to get the crosshairs in place just like that. All right, so there are the crosshairs. There is a circle smack dab in the middle. So, okay, next step we want to do is we want to find a way to cut a hole. That yellow piece, we want it all gone. Keynote is designed to help us to do that. So what we're going to do first is we're going to keep with that circle selected. We're going to move over to the red rectangle, press the shift key again, and then click on the red circle. What that does is it now means that both the circle and the rectangle are selected. Once that is selected, we're going to move right over here to this tab that says Arrange. I hope that that's big enough for you to see. And we're going to go ahead and click Arrange, come down to the very bottom, and we're going to hit Subtract. Once we click Subtract, you're going to see, or what's supposed to happen, is that yellow circle will disappear, and what you should see is that basic blue slide that was beneath that. So let's see if that works. Boom, there we go, and it works. So we've got now that perfect nice pretty circle right in the middle that's now cut out, and we have the borders of that red piece there. So we're gonna next thing we want to do is we want to find a picture, a graphic, or whatever. Now we can use that red there as the borders, but if you want to dress it up, and then you can come over here to your color palette and you can click on any of these colors and change it to whatever color you want it to be, the framing of your countdown timer. You could even come in now and put some text or a logo or anything on the border of this so that while that countdown timer is happening, people can see your branding, etc., that's there in the circle. However, what we want to do, we don't want just a plain color. We want to go ahead and we want to add a picture. So we're just going to grab a JPEG, and the same JPEG that you saw in the previous ones, and we're going to make a mask of that JPEG that's going to cover that yellow section of the border. So we're going to come off to my screen here. I know you can't see this part, but I've got this JPEG just sitting on my desktop, and we're going to drag it all the way in here, and we're just going to drop it. Now we've dropped it, and automatically it's moving to mask mode. Now you see it's not quite centered, so we're just going to drag it and center it over the entire slide, and you'll see that this JPEG was not really an HD JPEG, so it's got some space on the sides. So in order to compensate for that, we're just going to grab one of these handles, and we're going to drag just to make sure that it covers the entire picture. We're going to grab it to there. Boom, that's about right. And we're going to drag this one there. That's about right. And then I'm just going to slide it up until I get in the crosshairs to right there. Now, as soon as you've got that centered and you've got it where you want it, you can make this bigger or smaller. You take your little slider, and that'll just adjust the size of your mask. It's okay to have it as big as you want it. You just want to make sure that when you get it smaller, that it at least covers the whole thing underneath. All right, so we're going to keep ours right about here. I want to get as many of those petals in the picture as I can. So once that's done, once I hit done here, now you should see that centerpiece disappear like magic. Boom. And you've got a frame. Pretty awesome. I'm going to try one thing. I haven't tried this before. I'm going to come back over here to style, and I'm going to throw a shadow on. Looks like I've got, let me check this out. I've got not quite to the edge. So I'm going to pull that just a little bit more. It looks like I'm seeing some blue underneath that I don't want to see. So I'm just going to slide that way. Yeah. And slide it there. All right, that covers that whole thing. But I'm going to go ahead and throw a shadow on there. Have no clue what this is going to do. We'll see. Yeah, there it is. See, it gives that shadow. Let me blow this up for you. Gives it some depth there right around the, oh, that's nice. I haven't tried that before. Perfect. Okay. All right, so now let's get started with the rest of this. This is going to be fun. All right, I know you, I'm looking over here because that's where my screen is. I'm going to maybe, if I move it over here, will you still see? Yeah, I'll leave it there. All right. Okay, so now we want to start working on those little throbbing pieces that you saw in the middle when we started. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click off of that, make sure nothing is selected. I'm going to roll right back up here to the shapes, and I'm going to grab a circle again just to make sure we can see it and you can see it. I'm going to make it a color. You don't have to do that, but I just want to make sure that you can see this well. So I'm going to go ahead now, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to before I start dragging, I'm going to hit my shift key so that circle keeps its diameter, its parameters in a perfect circle there. So that's about as far as I'm going to drag it, but I want to make it just a little bit bigger. So shift key, grab the handle and drag it, and let's do it right about there. Now we want to make sure it's dead center, so we're going to make sure we move it there so that we see those crosshairs. And we're good to go with the outer ring. We're going to use this as the outer ring. So next thing you want to do is you want to come down here to border, and you want to change it from no border to a line. Put a line on that bad boy. Once you've got a line on it, you want to come up here to fill, and you want to say no fill. Get rid of the center there. So now you've got no fill, so that you'll be able to see everything that happens on the behind that circle once we get going. Now I'm going to change it from a solid line. I'm going to change it to these little dots here just because I like the little dots, and those things are going to bounce for us really real nice and pretty. Now you can change the diameter of these dots just by here, your point size. If you take it real down, then you're going to further down, you're going to have a finer set of dots. Pump it back up, you're going to have a thick set of dots. I'm going to leave it right on the 25 for now. And see how we go. So now there's one other thing I want to do. Now what we're going to have to do as well is we're going to have to copy this several times. We're going to copy it 5 times to make this work. You can copy it less than that or more than that. For what we're going to do tonight, we're going to copy it 5 times, and we're going to change the color of it each time that we copy it, and then we're going to place it right back on top of, we're going to place all these circles right on top of each other. So it's going to look like it's just one circle, but you're going to see how it's going to show that it's actually going to be 5 circles on top of this. So first thing we want to do, even before we make the next circle, is I want to animate this circle. So I'm going to come over here to animate, add an effect, and I'm going to do the twist and scale. So you'll see here when I hit preview, this is what, that's really nice, what the twist and scale does. Let you see it again. Boom. So I'm going to go ahead and select it, the twist and scale. Now I'm also going to bump this down, the timing, because that's going a little slow for me. I'm going to take it all the way down to about 1 second. Let's see what that looks like now. Yeah, because I want that, and based on your music, whatever music you're playing, if you want it to go really fast, to kind of thump really fast, then this is where you change that, the duration of that timer. So I want to take a look one more time. Yeah, that goes that way. Okay, so I think we're good for what I want to do with that. So now we're ready to copy and to paste. There are 2 ways you can copy. You can do it the old-fashioned way, which is simply command. Actually, there's 3 ways. You can go up to the go up to your menu bar, from edit, hit copy, or you can hit command C and then command V, which will copy and paste. Or you can do this. You can hold down your option key, place your cursor over the image, drag it off, and boom, you've got a copy. We're okay with it being off center. Now we want to have off center so we can change the color. We're going to come over here to the color palette, and we're going to pick a color. Now here's the other thing that's going to be helpful when you're doing graphics like this, and that's to make them, you know, nice for the eye. Keep your color palettes compatible with what's going on. They don't always have to match, but they do need to kind of be compatible. So one way to match them, or to help match them, is right here. You pick this color picker. Apple computers always have the little color picker. Bring it over. Now you can't see it. You can see my cursor, but wherever my cursor is now going to pick up the color that my cursor is hanging over. So right now I'm just going to hang over the white in the middle of that flower there, and so that's going to change that to that color white. Now I'm going to just drag this right back to the center until I get my bullseye or my crosshairs, let it go. And now I'm going to do it one more time. Option, click, drag. I missed it. Got to select it. Yep. Now option, click, drag, and I've got another one. This time I'm going to grab my color picker, and I'm going to grab something in this kind of peachy color here of the leaf, of the petal of the flower. Drag it back. That is my 3rd. Boom. That's my 3rd circle. I've got 2 more to go. So we're going to do it again. Option, click, drag. Let's get one of these blues this time. Oh, I want a little brighter blue, so it's going to show up a little better. So let's get that clicker again. Let's go in there. Yeah, there we go. All right, now this is number 4. Drag it to the center. One more time for number 5. Boom, there we go. And then let's grab a yellow. I think I'll just grab this yellow here, and then boom, right back to the center. Okay, so those are our 5 outer circles. we're going to now create another set of circles to go inside of that, and we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to change how that circle looks just a little bit, and we're going to change the animation. Matter of fact, we're going to change, yeah, we'll do that later on. So yeah. Okay, let's put in the other circle. Boom. We're going to come up here, grab a circle one more time. We're in the center. Again, we're going to shift click and drag this out to the size that we want it. That's probably a little big. Yeah, that's way too big. So I'm going to again shift click, make it a little smaller. That should do. And then we're going to look for our crosshairs again in the center. We're going to come back over here to format so that we can put a border. We're going to grab a line, and this time we're going to choose the solid line. Boom, right. So there's the solid line. We'll keep that nice and thick there. And then we're going to come back up and get rid of that color fill and go with no fill. Boom. So we're seeing directly through to the background of the slide. I'm going to start off with a white, and I'm now going to come over here to animate, and I want to animate this bad boy. So we're going to hit add effect. We're going to go with, if you want to do with, and you can choose from any of these things. They all do things a little different, but they don't all work to your advantage. So you can play around with all of them and see exactly what you want. For what I'm doing that little sparkle effect. Yeah, that thing there. So we're going to choose it. Click it. Boom. Now, this is at a 2-second timing. I want it to go a little bit quicker. So I'm going to, let's see how that looks now. Yeah, that's about the speed at 175. Let's see what it looks like at 150. Okay, let's keep it at 150. Let's go with that. So now we're going to do all of that copying all over again and change the colors. So you got a little interesting color thing going on. Now you can do this with just 2 colors. You could just say, if you wanted to, let's say, let's option click this, drag it out. We've got that. Let's pull in baby blue, and we can slide that now right back on top. Now I can, to make this kind of, I can just now do the same thing but make another white one, so that all you're seeing is just kind of bouncing back and forth between blue and white. Matter of fact, I'd like to see what that looks like, so I'm going to try that. So let's, we're going to drag out again, option click drag, and this time we're going to make it white again and move it right back to the center for our crosshairs. Boom. Option click drag. We're going to go back with the blue and crosshairs, and over here in this panel you can help you to keep track. I made 5 circles with the twist and scale. Those are the little dots. Now I'm making the ovals. It's telling me my circle is not perfect, so it's calling them ovals, not circles. All right, so but I need to make one more, so we're going to make one more, and we're going to make it white. So again, option click drag, choose white, slide it back right on top till we see the crosshairs, and we should be good. Now all of our attention is going to turn to this little bad boy right here. Now this is the next part. Now we're going to take all of these ovals. If you've made the perfect circle, then all of these will say circle. Or if you didn't make a perfect circle, then they might all say oval. So don't worry so much about what it says on this side. Pay more attention to what it says on this side. And these are only going to be different if you went ahead and added the animation before you started doing all of your copies. So that's going to be an important part to remember. So I'm going to take this oval and I'm going to put it right at the very top. So now I've got an oval, and a circle. Let's use the other side. Sparkle, and then a twist and scale. I'm going to grab this sparkle and put it in between here. just going to intersperse, put them, just stagger them. So you've got twist and scale, spark, didn't grab that right. And come on, thingy. Work with me, there we go. Nope, I still didn't do it. There. Okay, there we go. So now we've got all of these things interspersed. You see it looks a little funny. We're going to fix that. Going to come up here to oval. We're going to click. We don't want to start on click. We want to go ahead and start after the transition. Now, and we're going to do it 0 seconds after the transition. When we come to the circle now on the outside, which is the twist and scale, we want to do it not after build 1, but with build 1. And we want, I got to remember how this works. I always forget at this point. All right, so we're going to cheat. All right, you guys going to cheat with me? We're going to look back and see how we did it on the other one. So we're on this slide here. We're going to bump up to this slide and see what we did. So we did sparkle, and it's on click. That one is on click, but this one is with build 1 and 0 seconds after. So okay, got it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to come back here. This one was going to be with build 1, and let's put 0 seconds. Now we're going to come back to the oval or the sparkle, and we're going to say after build 2 and 0 seconds. Good. We're going to come here and say with build 3. We're going to come here and say after build 4, 0 seconds. Oval is with build 5, 0 seconds. Let me just make sure I'm doing this. After transition with build 1. Oval should be after. Circle should be with. Oh, I should have a oval in here. Somewhere I'm missing an oval. Where's my other oval? An oval is escaping me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Circles 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Are we back? We're still not back on track. There we go. Now we got them lined up. Okay, sorry about that. So circles should be with, ovals should be after, circle should be with, oval should be after. So let's change this down here to after build 4. Circle should be with, oval should be after, and circle should be with, and oval should be after, and the circle should be with. All right, now we've done that. Let's see if we did it correctly. So we're going to go ahead and push the preview button here. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. All right, so we've made some progress. Now we are almost done. But there are some other things that we can do here. So that you saw the sparkles. So we want to deal with the sparkles. So we right now, let's push it again. You see the sparkles are all going the same direction. So we can come over here and we can change the direction so that some sparkles are going in different directions than the other. So how do we do that? Let's go ahead and click on a sparkle. And then you'll see over here it automatically changes to the animation. If it doesn't, then you want to navigate to the animation here. This first one is going left to right. Let's leave that one going left to right. Let's click on the next oval and let's just come and change it here. Instead of going left to right, let's go right to left. Let's click on the next oval. Instead of going left to right, let's go top to bottom. Let's go to the next oval. Instead of going left to right, let's go bottom to top. Let's get the next oval. And we're going to do something just a little different. Let's create that fire effect with this one. So we're going to change it from a sparkle, and we're going to put that flame in there, and that's going to give it that thing at the end. So boom, we're just going to go with flame. So it's going to look like that. Yeah, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so, and I'm going to keep the flame at 100 or 150, 1.5 seconds. Okay, so now we've got that how we want it. I want to play with something, again, that I haven't done before. So the circles, the twist and scales are all going clockwise. So the first one is going clockwise. I want to see what's going to happen if we take it and make it the next one and send it a different direction. If we send it counterclockwise, and if we leave the next one going clockwise, skip in, take the other one, and let's go counterclockwise. Now let's see what that looks like. I really can't tell much difference, quite frankly. All right, but that's okay. So we'll leave it just like that. So we're almost done. We are almost done. So this is what we're going to take a look at now. Let me just switch that out just a little bit and turn that down. I feel like I'm putting myself to sleep here. So I put on sleepy music, right? All right, so a couple things more we want to do, and we're going to knock this out. So with two things I want to do, I want to now get rid of that blue in the background, because that slide, when we opened the slide, when we created the brand new slide, it had a solid background. I don't want a solid background. I want a transparent background. So I'm going to click on the blue in the back. I'm going to come over here to format, making sure that none of these elements that we just created are selected. Only thing we want selected is this blue space where the background is. I'm going to come over now to format, and you should make sure it says title here, but this background area is the one we want to focus on, and we want to come here and change it to no fill. When we change it to no fill, now there's no background and it is gone. So we're in a good spot right now. One other thing though, and that is, when you looked at mine as the intro, it was transparent. It wasn't transparent, it was translucent. And I'll show you how to do that right now. So we're going to take one more shape. Let's grab the square again. Let's grab a color like the yellow. And we're going to take this and we're just going to drag it all the way across. You just want to make sure is that that area is covered. It doesn't have to be perfect. So that's that. Now we're going to take this. I'm going to right click and I'm going to send it to the back, all the way to the back. Now the next thing I'm going to do is come over here to the color palette, and I'm going to take this opacity and I'm going to drag it down. Yeah, I'm going to drag it down to, so I can make it all the way, but I want to put it so that when it's going, you can kind of see whatever's happening in the background, but it's just going to be a bit opaque. So let's leave it right at about, let's take it down to 45. Let's do it at 45. Boom. So that's going to be just little tint that's happening there in the background while all of this stuff is happening. I don't know that I really like the yellow. I don't know that it matches the coloring so well. So let's see what happens if we change it to this pink. Eesh. I don't know. I'm going to change it to this pink or that red. I have a sneaky suspicion blue is going to be my better solution here. Some people may choose a white or a black. If you choose the white and just slide it down, it's going to have kind of more of a gray type of an opaque thing. Other times, same thing really with the black. You can do it with any of these. I do prefer, I think, doing it with the color, and I think I like that blue. So let's do that. I see that shadow that we put on this popping over here. So yeah, I love it. Okay, what did we settle on? We settled on 42. Yeah, you can do it to however you like it. So I think we're just about done. Last thing we got to do is we got to export this bad boy. Now, everything is going to hinge on getting this part right. If you don't get this part right, it's not going to work. So now we're going to export this as a movie file. We're going to export it as a movie file. So we're going to come up to the top of Keynote. We're going to go to the File menu. We're going to go to Export, and you got to pay very close attention here. I'm going to Movie. We're going to click Movie. And when this screen comes up, you want to make sure that nothing's happened and it's still on movie. It's on movie, yes. Playback, self-playing, check, good. Slides. We have several slides in this particular file. We don't want to export all of them. We only want to export slide number 11. So we're going to click the From and hit the 11. If you only have one slide in this slideshow, then it doesn't matter. You can hit all. It is just going to be the one slide. Right here, go to the next slide. Don't think this really matters, but we're going to just make them 0 just to make sure. Now, this is the other part. When you open this, you're probably going to be seeing this. This is what you'll see. You won't. It's probably going to default to one of these resolutions, either the 720. As a matter of fact, I think it defaults to 720. That's not what you want. You have to change this. In order to make this work, you've got to come here and you've got to click Custom. It's going to default to the 920 by 1080. Perfect. Frame rate. You can choose really anything from about 24 and up. I keep mine right here at 29.7. I haven't really experimented what difference most of these will make. I have done it at 30 frames. I just bumped it down to 29. I think 60 frames is going to make you have a bigger file as far as it's going to take up more memory, more space. So I just took mine to 29. And then here's the other thing. This is going to default to H.264. You do not want to leave it on H.264. You've got to make sure that you come into your compression type and you change it to Apple ProRes 4444. Got to do that. This is the key to making sure you can export it with the transparent background. And then you want to make sure that this little box right here is clicked that says export with transparent backgrounds. Just to show you, if it is on H.264, you don't even have that option. It's grayed out. You want to make sure you have that option. To make sure you have that option, you have to choose your compression type as Apple ProRes 4444. Make sure that the box is clicked, and then you can go to next. When you go to next, it's going to bring up this typical window. We're going to say, what are we going to call this? VLOGMAS overlay. Countdown. VLOGMAS countdown. Number 1. This is actually like number 10 or something. I'm going to save it to the desktop. Export. And that bad boy is saving on the desktop. And we're going to now see what that looks like. So I'm going to get out of this particular view. Let's bring us back. Where do we want to go? What's going on here? There. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to navigate to my desktop, and I am going to find that file. Let's share my desktop again so you can see exactly what I'm doing. It's very simple. So, okay, now you see everything. Here's that latest one, VLOGMAS Countdown 1. Now, in a situation, let me see if I can find a kind of an empty screen. Let's go back to the original countdown one. as you continue to do the stuff that you do. There's some more music. As you continue to do what you do in your world, hopefully that's something that can be of benefit to you, that can make your countdown timers a little bit more exciting, a little bit more fun to deal with, and all of what you've seen. Once you get in there, you can play around with it, customize it, make it what you want it to be, to fit your personality, to fit your countdown, your startup music, any of that stuff. You can get in there and just be creative, be innovative. I got to shout out one more time a gentleman by the name of Bradley Vincent. I'm going to make sure I put his channel and stuff in my links, because this is where I learned a lot of this stuff from. And so if you need some other tips and hints, he's a great source to be able to find out. There's a lot of folk out there who are doing a lot of stuff to teach you how to make what you're doing a little bit better. And that's what we're trying to do during I keep pointing the wrong direction. During Vlogmas, this is day number 3 Vlogmas for us here. I'm saying us like there's more than us. For me here at Twittic, this is the place where I talk about the things of this is what I think I know. Don't know everything, but I'm willing to share the stuff that I think I know. Thank you for joining me today. I hope it's been beneficial to you. Look for me tomorrow. I'm going to be out there. If you're looking at this in the future, check out what we're doing day after day after day. It's going to be some neat stuff all about various topics that you see down here. This is what I think I know about history, culture, travel, food, politics, photography, scuba diving, smoothies, facial hair. Technology was today. This was a tech edition. And then what I think I know about God. That's my favorite topic. And we'll get to spend some of these days talking about some things and questions that you may have. If you're watching this today, if you're watching this later, and you have any questions about what you saw today, just drop them in the chat. Or in the comments, rather, in the comments in the box at the end, and I'll do my best. I'm going to answer any questions, any comments, any suggestions even that you may have. Make sure you drop those in, and within a day or two, I will make sure that I answer those questions for you, or try to direct you in a good direction where you can find some more answers. Take care, everybody. We will see you tomorrow. Oh, wait, no. Subscribe. Isn't that what I'm supposed to say? Subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, then go ahead and click that subscribe button and hit the little bell so that you'll get notice of whenever I put up some new content. But know this, I'm going to be putting up something new every single day from December 1, which we've already started, all the way to December 31. It might not all be live. Some of them I may have shot and done some editing. Some of them, like this one, will be live. Some of them will be longer. Some of them will be shorter. But we're going to be covering as much as I can about these topics. You'll find out something that's special and unique to you. Appreciate you supporting and stopping by tonight. God bless. We'll see you next time.